Hi everyone, welcome back to the Treble Clef Project. Today I'm joined with a very talented special guest who's going to be talking about a performance arts related activity that she's involved in and how it has changed her life. So take it away and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Bonisha. I am a sophomore at California High School. The performing arts related activity that I am involved in is dance. I've always danced, it's one of my main hobbies and passion. I am currently a part of San Ramon Valley Dance Academy, and I am newly a part of the California High varsity song team.
That's awesome. So when and why did you start dancing?
So I started dancing when I was about 7 years old, so 8 years as of now, when I lived in Australia. So my older sister used to dance, and ever since I was born, I would always just like try to be her as like a person. So like whatever she would do, I would do. And so she was the one that actually initially started dancing, and since she started dancing, I started dancing. But eventually she dropped this form of art to swim because that's what she liked and enjoyed more. But for me personally, dance kind of just stuck with me. And ever since like my first class with my little tutu, I instantly fell in love with this form of art. So it just kind of stuck by me.
And what dance styles do you perform?
I currently train in ballet, jazz, hip hop, and contemporary at San Ramon Valley Dance Academy. And occasionally I do Bollywood and traditional Indian dancing for events like pujas just to root back to my culture. That's what I do.
So what inspires you to dance and also what inspiration do you get from dancing?
So personally, dance is just something that I use as a portal to escape reality as a whole. So like say I have a rough day at school or a hardship that I face in my life, whenever I dance, like I forget about everything and I just focus on like dance itself. And that's like really special to me because it's like something completely shutting down like the outer world, if you know what I mean. And when I do something that requires like a lot of attention from other people, aka dance, because you're performing it to other people, my mind can go blank sometimes. And what I love about dance is that even if your mind shuts off, there's always muscle memory, and you can also improv as like a backup plan. And what improv is like you kind of like make it up as you go, and as long as you look good, the audience does not care. Just, perform for them. So it's like not really the end of the world per se if your mind shuts off, and I really like that. It's just like a lot about emotion and just like the raw, genuine feeling of it behind of it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really important. And
Mhm.
so what is something that you've learned from dance that you still carry with you today?
Oh, 100%. It would be discipline. So I do ballet, and it is one of the oldest form of dancing here. And so ballet is really about discipline and rules, like a lot of rules, just like standing on your own 2 feet and doing the same thing with classical music for like hours at a time. It can be 6 hours sometimes, you know. So it's a lot about just like having a good work ethic and a lot about perseverance because personally I am very impulsive and I love just like moving around. And so I really got to learn how to control my energy and use it in like a more effective way, if that makes sense. So yeah, 100% discipline and also confidence, which I will go further into about in the future or like later. But yeah, confidence and discipline were the two main things that I learned.
Got it. And so, we're in a global pandemic right now, and it must probably be hard to, go into the studios and dance. So how has the pandemic affected your involvement in dance and the way you perform?
100%. So honestly, like the pandemic did shift dancing for me personally, like in a whole different level because I dance virtually right now, like through Zoom. And so there's obviously like smaller space and I can't really see the mirror. I can't see like what I look like when I dance. So it's kind of like I learned a lot about adaptability. And so like I adapted to like smaller like areas, and I also learned how to make the most of what I'm given and the circumstance that we are in right now. So I really liked how there's like a change of environment, and knock on wood, we get out of this pandemic soon. But yeah, just like a lot about adapting to new environments. And also I feel like this might be an unpopular opinion, but COVID-19, like for me, is a lot more mentally draining than like what life was before. That's just for like my own personal aspect of everything. So one thing I learned is like when I wake up, I would sometimes like not want to go to dance class because of like how much rules there are, and I just like want to let loose sometimes. So it's really challenging for me when it comes to like motivation, but I think like once I'm actually in class, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm glad I did this. So it's a lot about like mental battles, but I also learned perseverance and adapting to new environments, basically.
What's the most memorable experience you've had dancing?
Um, I would say so. In a like couple years ago, I did have scholarship auditions at a dance convention. So being in a more predominantly white dance industry, I was instantly kind of seen as like the minority. Being 4'10", colored, I was just like I instantly felt so inferior compared to like everyone else. So, um, I 100% did lack a lot of confidence. I would always be in the back of the room, just like kind of give up because I didn't think that I would be acknowledged or like actually win awards or anything. And so I was doing like the dance, and I was like really like confident in it because I knew what was happening. But in sense of like everyone else, I was like the least confident. And so one of the judges in the scholarship auditions actually like called my number and told me to go up on the stage. So it was like the scariest thing ever because everyone just like made a pathway for me like to the stage, and I was like about to cry. I was like shaking. It was so scary for me. And then she said, just do the dance. And I was like, what? And she just said, just do the dance. So I did the dance on the stage, and then she told everyone to like learn from me, and she like gave me a little pep talk like saying like you have to be more confident, like you know the dance, like you can't look at other people, like learn like from yourself. And so that was kind of like the first time that I started to gain some self-worth and see myself like a little more confidently. And so I also like realized that dance isn't solely based on your physical appearance, and it's not a matter of minorities or anything. It's also like based on like the true raw talent you have within yourself. So like regardless of height, skin color, ethnicity, whatever it be, like it's all about how much like love you have for this form of art, how much emotion and how much devotion you have for dance itself. So yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
I definitely agree with that. So, why do you think dance is important and why should it be encouraged in youth?
Oh yeah. So I think dance is incredibly important to like start off with for the youth, and for like the youth to just continue it with if they like it, because there's a lot of pros to it. Like you can build a lot of hand-eye coordination, and it also, as I mentioned before, gives you a sense of discipline. And I think that's really, really good, especially for adolescent kids and the youth as a whole, because that's when their brains are still developing. And so as they develop, if they start learning or having a sense of work ethic, I think it's really good for their futures. And so dance is like incredibly focused on discipline. So I highly recommend that. And it also gives freedom when it comes to moving your body. So I know like I'm not sure about everyone, but like personally, when I was younger, I would have like so much energy that I did not know how to contain it. Like I like it was crazy. And so when I went to dance, that was like one of the main ways that I could actually like get all my energy out. And then whenever I'd come home, like my mom would be like, okay, thank God, like she's more calm now. So a lot like a fun way to see it, and also very educational when it comes to future life skills.
Okay, so my last question for you is what advice do you have for aspiring young dancers?
Oh, this is a good one. 1,000% do not compare yourself to other people. Because For dance, each person has like their own thing to offer. Some people can hit dance moves really hard, other people are really flexible, other people, like each person has their own quality that they have to share to the world. And so when you look at other people, you might be daunted by their skills, but you yourself have your own skills. So don't look at other people. 100% be inspired by other people, but you can't let it affect you to the way where you're saying that you're belittling your own skills to say that you're not as good as the other person. So don't compare yourself to other people. That is one of the main things I would say to the youth.
So thank you so much for joining me today. It was such a great pleasure to have you here and to get to hear all your experiences. That's it for today. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back for another video on Wednesday. So bye, everyone.